Picture this. It's 2 a.m. and you're jolted awake by an emergency alert on your phone. You have minutes to grab your family and go. In that moment, would you know what to take? Would you even have what you need? Here's the shocking truth. Most families have less than 24 hours of supplies at home. And when disaster strikes, there's no time to think. The question isn't if an emergency will happen, it's when. And the answer to whether your family survives comfortably or struggles desperately comes down to one thing: preparation. In this video, we're going to walk through everything you need to build a complete 72-hour emergency kit for your entire family. We're covering 6 essential categories: food, water, clothing, hygiene, comfort items, survival gear, and yes, even pet supplies. This isn't just a generic checklist. This is practical, real-world advice that could literally save your family's life. And if you stick with me until the end, you'll have a clear action plan to get your kits ready this week. Welcome to Prep Pantry, where we make emergency preparedness simple, achievable, and honestly, less scary than it sounds. If you're serious about protecting your family, hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss our life-saving content. Now, let's get your family prepared. Let's start with the most critical component, food and water, because let's be honest, hungry kids in an emergency are not going to make things easier. When you're selecting food for your emergency kit, you need to follow 4 golden rules. First, it must be non-perishable. Second, it should be ready to eat with absolutely no cooking required. Third, it needs to be safe to eat cold because you might not have the ability to heat anything. And fourth, it cannot require additional water for preparation. Water is precious in emergencies, and you can't afford to waste it on dehydrated meals. So what does this look like in practice? For dinner options, pack ready-to-eat lentils and rice packs. These are nutritious, filling, and honestly, they're comfort food that your family already knows and likes. For adults, consider adding hearty beef soup because of its higher protein content. For the kids, SpaghettiOs with meatballs. Yes, really. They're simple, comforting, and kids will actually eat them without complaint during a stressful situation. Here's a pro tip. Choose canned foods with pull tab lids whenever possible. Why? Because you might not have a can opener. And trust me, you don't want to be trying to open a can with a rock. For lunch, chicken salad packs are your best friend. Most come with crackers already included, plus a little spoon, so everything you need is right there. If someone in your family prefers tuna, stores offer plenty of varieties. These packs are lightweight, self-contained, and require 0 preparation. For breakfast, protein shakes come in handy. They're quick, filling, and require no dishes. But here's something critical. Most protein shakes only have a 1-year shelf life, so you need to mark your calendar right now to check those expiration dates annually. Supplement your breakfast options with granola bars, breakfast bars, and those applesauce pouches. Some even have hidden vegetables, which means extra nutrition without anyone noticing. Now, let's talk snacks, because you'll need energy throughout the day. High protein options are key. Peanut butter, pistachios, cashews, and beef jerky. These provide sustained energy and help you feel full longer. For something sweet, pack fruit leather rolls. And for the kids, those pretzel packs with Nutella dip are a huge morale booster. Here's a game-changing packing tip. Store all of your food items in 2-gallon Ziploc bags. This keeps everything clean, dry, organized, and easy to find when you're stressed and searching through your bag. Let's move to water and hydration, because this is where people make a big mistake. Carrying large quantities of water is simply impractical. Water is heavy and you need room for other supplies. So here's the strategy. Pack 3 bottles of water per person as your baseline. To stretch that supply further, include hydration packs, and consider getting ones with caffeine for the adults in your family. But here's the real lifesaver, literally. Every single family member should have a LifeStraw. This is a portable water filter that allows you to safely drink from natural sources like streams or puddles if you run out of bottled water. It's small, lightweight, and could be the difference between dehydration and survival. And don't forget to pack utensils for eating and drinking. It sounds obvious, but people forget this all the time. Now, clothing. This is an area where people either overpack or completely neglect to update their supplies. If you have kids, they grow fast, like really fast. So you need to check and update the clothing in their kits at least once a year. Pack 1 complete change of clothes per person. Here's a smart strategy. Choose sizes slightly larger than what they currently wear to accommodate growth. If you live in a cold climate, add hats, gloves, and an extra jacket. You can't predict what season a disaster will strike. For storage, keep all of your clothing in Ziploc bags. This protects them from moisture, keeps them compressed and organized, and here's a bonus. You can use those same bags to store dirty clothes after your family changes. You don't want to mix clean and dirty clothing in your emergency backpack. And let's talk about budget for a second. Hand-me-downs and thrift store finds are absolutely perfect for emergency kits. This isn't about fashion. This is about practicality and having clean, dry clothes when you need them. Moving into hygiene, and this is where a lot of people panic and overpack. The key here is focusing on essentials and sharing items where possible. Most travel-size hygiene products can be found at Target or Walmart for just a couple dollars.
Here's what you actually need: a toothbrush and toothpaste for each person, chapstick for each person. Chapped lips in an emergency are miserable. Hair combs and brushes can be shared among family members. Same with shampoo and body wash. One travel-size deodorant can be shared. Sunscreen is important, especially if you live in a sunny climate. Pack one per person. Mosquito repellent can be shared. One pack of tissues per person. And here's something crucial. Pack feminine products for all girls in your household, regardless of whether they currently need them. Emergencies don't wait for convenient timing. You also want Clorox wipes, hand sanitizer, and regular wipes that can be shared. And throw in some masks just in case. We learned that lesson recently, didn't we? Here's the important part. Store all hygiene items together in one larger bag or section of your backpack. This makes them easy to access and also prevents any leaks from contaminating your other supplies. Now let's talk about something that might seem frivolous, but is actually incredibly important: comfort items. While these aren't strictly necessary for survival, they can make an unbearably stressful situation more bearable, especially for children. Maintaining morale during a disaster isn't just nice to have, it's essential for keeping everyone calm and cooperative. So what should you include? Play-Doh is surprisingly perfect because it's durable and lasts for years. Magnetic writing boards are lightweight and reusable. Pack a deck of cards, checkers, dominoes, or Uno. These are small, don't require batteries, and can keep multiple people entertained. Small Lego kits work great too. Here's a space-saving kit. Remove the boxes and store just the pieces and instructions. This dramatically reduces the space they take up. Give each person a notepad and pen. Kids can draw, adults can write, and everyone can play games like tic-tac-toe or hangman. And here's the best part about comfort items. Many can be found at dollar stores, and you can reuse items from previous kits if they're still in good condition. Don't overthink this category. Just think about what would help your family stay calm and occupied during long waits or uncertainty. Now we get into the serious survival gear that could genuinely save lives. First, and absolutely most important, a comprehensive first aid kit. Don't just grab the basic box from the drugstore. Make sure yours is well stocked. Supplement it with a sting and bite kit and bleed stop supplies. In emergencies, medical help might not be available immediately, and you need to be able to handle minor injuries yourself. For weather protection, pack rain ponchos, one per person. These are lightweight and take up almost no space. Emergency blankets, also called space blankets, one per person. These reflect body heat and can prevent hypothermia. And hand warmers, especially if you live anywhere that gets cold. For fire and light, you need waterproof matches. Regular matches are useless if they get wet. Pack headlamps instead of flashlights because they're hands-free, one per person. This is crucial when you need to do tasks in the dark. Stock extra batteries because the ones in your headlamps won't last forever. And consider at least one emergency lantern that can light up a larger area where your family gathers. Here's something many people skip that you absolutely need: an emergency radio. Not just any radio. Look for models with a built-in flashlight, an SOS alarm, a solar panel for charging, and a hand crank that allows you to recharge devices. When cell towers are down and you have no information about what's happening, that radio becomes your lifeline to the outside world. For navigation and safety, pack an emergency whistle with a built-in compass. If you're separated from your family or need to signal for help, a whistle carries farther than your voice and requires far less energy. Heavy-duty trash bags are incredibly multi-purpose. They can be used for waste, to keep things dry, or even as emergency rain protection. Dry bags are essential for storing important documents: passports, birth certificates, insurance papers, and electronics. Water damage can destroy these critical items, and every adult in your family should have a cutting tool, whether that's a knife or a multi-tool. Here's a packing tip for all this survival gear. Store it in accessible pockets or compartments of your backpack. When you need these items, you need them fast, and you don't want to be dumping out your entire bag in the dark to find your flashlight. Let's talk about something people often forget: your pets. They're part of your family too, and they need their own emergency supplies. For cats, invest in larger, expandable carriers. Your cat is going to be stressed, and a slightly bigger carrier where they can move around a bit is worth the extra space. Here's a creative solution that actually works. Make a collapsible emergency litter box from a regular cardboard box. It stores flat until you need it, and then you can just unfold it and add litter. For essential pet items, look for travel-friendly, lightweight litter. Regular litter is heavy and takes up too much space. Pack cat food and extra water specifically for them. Collapsible food and water bells are perfect for emergencies because they fold down to almost nothing. And don't forget toys. A stressed cat with a familiar toy is going to be much calmer than one with nothing familiar. Keep all pet supplies in a dedicated tote so they're organized and you can grab them quickly without forgetting something important. Now that we've covered what goes in your kits, let's talk about how to pack and store everything. Organization here is absolutely critical. Store all emergency kit items in sturdy backpacks, one per family member. This distributes the weight and means everyone can carry their own supplies if you need to evacuate on foot.
For bulkier items or things that are shared among the family, use large storage totes. These keep everything dry, clean, and protected. With pet supplies included, you're probably looking at needing an extra tote just for them. That's okay. It's better to have everything organized than to have items scattered around your house where you'll forget them in an emergency. Here's what most people don't think about: maintenance. Your emergency kit isn't a set it and forget it situation. You need to check and update everything at least once a year. Set a reminder on your phone right now for 1 year from today. When that reminder goes off, you're going to replace any expired food, adjust clothing sizes for growing kids, refresh hygiene products, and check batteries. Also update your kit after major life changes, a new baby, a new pet, someone develops a medical condition, or after your area experiences a disaster and you learn what you actually needed versus what you thought you'd need. This annual review isn't busy work. It's what ensures that when you desperately need your kit, everything in it actually works and is still usable. There's nothing worse than opening a protein shake during an emergency and discovering it expired 2 years ago. Here's the truth that nobody wants to think about. Assembling and maintaining a 72-hour emergency kit is an act of love and responsibility. You might hope you never use it, you might even think it won't happen to you, but disasters don't discriminate. They don't care if you're prepared or not. The difference is that prepared families have food, water, clean clothes, and the tools they need. Unprepared families struggle, panic, and suffer unnecessarily. This isn't about living in fear, this is about empowerment. By taking these steps, you're investing in your family's safety and well-being no matter what happens. You're giving yourself options when others have none. You're ensuring that if the worst happens, your family can weather it with dignity, comfort, and security. Tailor your kit to your family's unique needs. Update it regularly. Store it in an accessible location that everyone in your household knows about. And then rest easier knowing that you've done something incredibly important. The best emergency kit is the one you have ready when you need it. So start today. Begin with the basics and build from there. You don't have to do everything at once, but you do need to start. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button and subscribe to Prep Pantry for more practical preparedness content. Drop a comment below and let me know. Do you already have an emergency kit or are you starting from scratch? What's your biggest challenge with emergency preparedness? I read every comment and your questions help me create better content for this community. Stay safe, stay prepared, and remember, we're not preparing for the end of the world, we're preparing to protect the people we love most. I'll see you in the next video.